so excited for me. This is my...
Okay. I feel like I'm in a Netflix documentary and I'm sitting down to share my truth. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, I have a really fun episode lined up for y'all. Last weekend, my friend Kenzie and I got together and we co-hosted a really adorable Sunday night dinner party. And in this episode, I'm going to take you through the entire process, start to finish. We hosted the party at her house, but I actually prepped a lot of the stuff here and then kind of lugged it all over. And the theme of the party was Paris, Texas. So it's kind of like French, Texas mashup. So I did like a brisket bourguignon. I did a Texas grapefruit salad. I also did like a little Dijon chicken, which I think has like weeknight staple status around here. It was so good. The menu was just really fun and kind of cutesy. Anyway, I had the time of my life co-hosting with her. I think we want to do quite a few more of these throughout the summer with kind of a revolving door of different themes. So if you have any suggestions for a fun dinner party theme that you might like to see, let me know because I would love to kind of get some inspiration. But in other news, I'm fresh off the plane from New York City, if you can't tell by my baseball cap. I was out there for a couple days to see the Beyonce concert with Hellmann's Mayonnaise, which is like a little surreal. It was a great way to spend a Thursday night. I got to meet some lovely other creators, hang out with them. It was a really nice experience. I haven't done many of those like creatory, influencery type things, and it was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So yeah, shout out to the Hellmann's team for having me because it was so fun. It's back to reality around here. I'm fresh off the plane, I mean less than an hour ago, and I had to film this because this video has to go up tomorrow in real time. Life is coming at me like a ton of bricks, but that's okay. Picked up some Canes on the way home and I completely smashed a box combo. Got the Diet Coke to prove it. My sister Caroline came with me on the trip. It was so nice to have a little buddy. So we got to go out to a few places, do some shopping. And then we met up with my friend Eric in Brooklyn. We went to a really nice little wine bar, had a delicious chicken sandwich. It was just a fun little quick trip. And I will jump at any excuse to take a little New York trip. I just have the best time whenever I go. It's always great. Big fan. So we're gonna go ahead and get into today's episode. It's a really fun one. I know you're gonna love it. All the recipes from today's video are gonna be in my newsletter, so go ahead and sign up for that. You can get all those recipes sent straight to your inbox. And then I'll meet you right back here for another edition of Ask Harry. I'm answering some more of your cooking and entertaining questions. So if you have any cooking or entertaining questions, or just questions in general that you might want answered in the next YouTube video, go ahead and put those down below too, and I'll pick a few of those from YouTube. Okay, well on that note, let's go ahead and get into this episode, and I will see y'all at the end. Hi everybody. So tomorrow is party day. I am teaming up with my friend Kenzie. We're doing a little Sunday night dinner at her place, and we have a theme for it. The theme is Paris, Texas. So it's like a French Texas mashup. I think it's gonna be really fun. She sent me the cutest photo of the flower arrangements earlier today. Oh, it's gonna be so good. But anyway, I just went and picked up all my groceries. So let me kind of talk you through what I'm doing menu-wise, and then we're gonna make a to-do list for today. I've got some little gem lettuce here. I'm gonna do like a Texas grapefruit salad. So that's what that's for. These are some really cute little French radishes to go with like some baguettes, some butter, some carrots, little creme fraiche. I'm doing a Dijon chicken and brisket bourguignon, which I'm really excited about. Let's see, these are some figs for the cheese plate. Got a bottle of red wine for the brisket. I am not really picky when it comes to red wine that I cook with. I don't love red wine, so I'm just gonna grab whatever happens to be on sale that looks decent. Some peppercorns because I needed to refill. Energy drinks, obviously. Then I'm doing French onion soup. So I got 6 of these really large sweet Texas onions. So we will deal with these momentarily. I'd like to start the French onion soup today if I have time. That. 2 big old Texas grapefruits for the salad. Humidity is terrible in my hair, it looks awful. Anyway, for the cheese board, y'all are gonna love this. I've got 2 kind of like bougie French cheeses and pimento. Lemons and garlic, the rest of my onions. These are massive. Got some fresh herbs, I have some thyme and some mint. These mint leaves are ginormous. Look at that. We have a beautiful bulb of fennel. I'll shave the fennel really thin to put in the salad, and the fronds will kind of go on as a garnish. It'll be really pretty. Then I got 2 of these large logs of French butter. I'm gonna let these soften. We're gonna do like a butter tower with some fresh baguette that I'll pick up tomorrow, and the radishes alongside. It's gonna be really cute. And grapes for the cheese board. I already bought the brisket. It's in the fridge, and I think I'll deal with that tomorrow morning. For dessert, I'm doing a chocolate mousse, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that now so we can just sit in the fridge. I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Then I'd like to get the soup going and maybe do some veggie prep for the salad and make the vinaigrette in advance if I have time. Going to a graduation tonight, so I don't know if I'll be able to do as much as I want to today, but I think we'll be okay regardless. So let me get all this put away and then we'll get going. I also got us a bunch of candy cigarettes to put out, like in a cute bowl or something. Is that not perfect? All right, cocktail-wise, here's what we got going on. Got some French champagne, a little creme de cassis to make a Kir Royale, a little Saint Germain to do like a Hugo Spritz or something, and then Lone Star beer, baby. I love it. All right, I'm gonna go set all this aside. I'm gonna put the beer in the fridge. All right, let's take a second to work on the game plan for what I want to get done today and tomorrow. So I got my menu, my grocery list here. You might have seen my little system in the Easter video, but basically I kind of do a little tri-fold piece of paper and I have my menu, my grocery list, and kind of my action plan in another column. So, I know today the chocolate mousse is probably the biggest thing. Let's see, it is 2:48 right now. I have to leave at 5:15. So I don't think I'll have time to do the soup all the way through, but I can at least start caramelizing the onions and I can just kind of hold them until tomorrow. And that at least is one kind of passive thing that can just be going in the background while I'm working on everything else. And then if I find myself with some time, I want to make the vinaigrette. I want to slice the grapefruit. I want to slice the fennel. And I want to wash the lettuces. All right, that's like perfect world. And then tomorrow morning, I'm gonna start the brisket. I'm gonna do the chicken when I get there. I'm gonna finish the soup tomorrow morning. I need to bring out the butter to soften. I need to buy the baguettes. We're eating at 6, I'm gonna get there at 2 p.m. So when I get there, really all I need to do is make the chicken, reheat the soup, reheat the brisket, assemble the salad, put out the cheese plate, chill the drinks. Then just before, I'm gonna need to broil the soup, but everything else can kind of be like sitting and ready. So honestly, my big work portion is really gonna be when I get to Kenzie's place tomorrow and probably like tomorrow morning. All right, well, let's go ahead and kick our butts into gear, shall we? I've got a solid like 2 hours. Here we go. Let's start with the onions first. All right, I've switched all over to my microphone, so maybe you can hear me better. I'm just going to, how do I wanna do this? Shave up these onions on the mandolin so they're nice and thin and really uniform. And I have 6 here. I don't think I'm gonna use all 6. I'm gonna start with 4 and kind of see how we feel. And then we will start caramelizing these in the Dutch oven over a really low heat for a nice long time. And then to finish the soup, we'll do some beef stock, some red wine, some thyme, Dijon, Worcestershire. It'll be really good. Then tomorrow, right before serving, each one will get topped with like a little piece of baguette and some Gruyere cheese and then broiled. So the cheese is melty, the toast is crunchy. It's gonna be so good. Guys, I'm not crying yet. Let's see how long this takes. Probably not long. This one's a hefty boy. It's like a softball. One more. It's fully gonna be like 95 degrees tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, let's have soup. But French onion soup always sounds good. You know what? There's air conditioning inside, so I don't really care. All right, there's our 4 big sweet onions. I'm gonna slice these using my mandolin, but I'm using the thickest setting on the mandolin. So you just wanna be nice and careful. You know my rule with the mandolin, don't be a hero. Losing a fingertip is never worth getting an extra tiny piece of whatever vegetable that you're slicing, I promise you. See, I don't want the onions too stringy, so I might actually cut these in quarters and then slice. These are some big boys. There we go, that's better. Now we're crying. Here we go. Oh my gosh, so fun. Even the 4 onions might have been too much. I mean, I'm only like, not even much of the way through. Oh gosh. All right, I'm gonna, oh Jesus. Okay. Oh wow. I'm gonna go suffer through this and I'll see you back here in a second when all these are done. We did it. This is 4 extra large sweet Texas onions. This bowl's not gonna be big enough, is it? All right, we're going to start slowly caramelizing these on the stove. I don't think my Le Creuset is gonna be big enough. I might have to break out like the big soup pot for this, which is comical. You know, French onion soup was actually the first thing that I made on the first day of like pandemic lockdowns. Like the world shut down and I was like, let's make French onion soup. So it always reminds me of that. These are great onions. This is ridiculous. All right, breaking out the big guns. All right, I'm gonna start preheating over medium low. I mean, once they're cooked down, it would fit in my Le Creuset, but I need room to kind of like stir and get everything going, so big pot it is. I'm gonna start melting a stick and a half of salted butter in here. I just had these in the fridge. Woohoo. Big glug of olive oil. I love cooking in this big pot. It makes me feel special. Give that a second to melt. All right. In goes all these onions. Holy moly. Hefty amount of salt. Toss the onions in that butter and we're just gonna let them go. On goes the lid. And these can just hang out. We're gonna get going on the chocolate mousse. Now this is not my recipe. I'm using the one out of Sweet Tooth by Sarah Fennell, also known as Broma Bakery. It's a recipe for peppermint chocolate mousse, but I'm just omitting all the peppermint stuff. I did this for New Year's Eve last year, and I doubled the recipe, and I kind of got like the math wrong on some of my measurements, and I had to like rescue it with more cream and more chocolate. It was a little bit of a mess. Still came out great though. So this is my redemption chocolate mousse, okay? And what's interesting about this recipe is that it all comes together in the blender, which is kind of cool. All right, this is 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream that I just heated up on the stove. And then this gets 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. And that can just get set aside for now. Then in the blender, we've got 8 ounces of dark chocolate that I've chopped up. It smells so good. 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of instant espresso powder. I'm gonna go a little heavier on the espresso powder because I kind of like that flavor. And we are gonna get this going on the blender. And then with the blender running, I'm adding 1/4 of a cup of boiling water. Okay, and then in goes the hot cream mixture. You just let that blend for a few seconds, just like that. And you'll see there's like no solid chocolate left in there. Okay. Then we're gonna take 1/2 cup of cream and whip this up till we have kind of soft peaks. A little bit longer. I really should have picked a bigger bowl. This is like comical. All right, there we go. And then all you do is pour in the chocolate mixture. Holy moly. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. I'm just gonna fold this in, and then we're gonna get this into a dish, top it with some plastic, and then right in the fridge. That's why I love a chocolate mousse. They're very, very simple to do. A little messy, sure, but it's kind of the perfect make-ahead dinner party dessert. You could split this up into individual little serving cups if you wanted to. There's a restaurant in Paris called Chez Genou, and they do like chocolate mousse served in a big tureen. And like the server comes around and just places like a big dollop on everyone's plate. So that's kind of what we're going for. Got a little white dish here. Here we go. This is gonna be our tureen of chocolate mousse. Oh, it's gonna be so good. All right. All right, in the fridge she goes. Very carefully, I wanna keep it pretty level if I can. And you guys, that's the chocolate mousse, all done. Look how dirty our paper is already. I mean, my God. Okay, let's do a quick time check. It is 4:09. Leaving by 5:15. Need to start getting ready at like 5 at the latest. So I have a little under an hour to clean up and see if I can maybe get something done on the salad front that'll save my sanity just a little bit tomorrow. So I'm gonna clear the decks, stare blankly into the abyss, and keep going. Woohoo, very chic, right? I gotta buy some more Dawn. I get asked about knives a lot. Wüsthof is probably my favorite. I also have a great one from Hedley and Bennett that I love just as much, so I'll link these down below if anybody's interested. All right, here is how things are looking. A little over an hour in. These are getting nice and soft. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep the lid off from now on and start to evaporate some of that excess liquid in the bottom. But I might have to kind of hold these as is and then revisit when I get home. It's 4:37. I think I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead and let the onions go until I need to leave. And go ahead and get myself ready. I gotta feed the dogs, tidy up, stuff like that. So I'm gonna stop here for tonight, and then tomorrow morning we will pick up with everything else. Really the only thing I didn't get to was like slicing the grapefruit, slicing the fennel, washing the lettuces, doing the vinaigrette. I think that'll all be like relatively quick. And I can do that while the brisket is going tomorrow. So I think we're still in good shape. I say that now. Okay, I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow morning. Bye. All right, good morning, everybody. Well, morning-ish. I'm getting a little bit of a later start than I wanted, but let me kind of catch you up to speed on where things are at. So the onions are still caramelizing. I kept them in a bowl in the fridge overnight and then just kind of kept them going this morning. Because let's be real, caramelizing onions takes a long time, and sometimes you don't have like a full 4 hours in one go to make it happen for yourself, so you can split it up into 2 sessions if you need to. Anyway, double fisting with the coffee and the bone broth this morning, giving very much Gwyneth, giving very much goop. Next, I want to start on the brisket bourguignon because I need that to start going in the oven like as soon as possible. And then I'll prep all the other things for the salad in the meantime. And that's really kind of the last big thing before it's time to finish the soup. So it's 11:30 now. I'm trying to leave here by like 2. So I'll probably have to take the brisket like halfway through cooking, transport it to Kenzie's and finish it there, which is not ideal, but it is possible. So I just gotta get my butt in gear. Anyway, this is a 3-pound center cut trimmed brisket. It's got kind of a fat cap on the underside here. Let me get this going. I'm gonna season this really, really generously with salt on both sides. And then honesty hour, I'm kind of winging this recipe. I've never made this one before. So we're doing this together, you and me, live for the first time. And I'm kind of basing it off of my red wine braised short ribs. Because like a beef bourguignon is basically just a beef stew with a lot of red wine. So consider me your guinea pig, but I think it's gonna be great. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit just like this at room temp while I prep all the other ingredients. I got some herbs, some garlic, things like that. Then we'll sear this, add all the veggies, add the red wine, let it braise in the oven and move on to the salad. I've got about 3/4 of a pound of carrots that I have like washed, peeled, and cut into just little irregular pieces like that. And then this is 1.5 pounds of little baby gold potatoes. I'm gonna throw these in whole. So those are all good to go. I'm gonna throw in some pearl onions. We're gonna make a little bouquet garni with some herbs. I'm gonna do, I think, just parsley and thyme. There's that. And then some extra flavorings with some tomato paste, a little Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, and a little head of garlic. So, let's see, where's my knife? All right, whole head of garlic, just split right in half. That'll be great. Then I don't have any kitchen twine for my herbs. I'm just gonna take a few sprigs of thyme and some of this parsley. That'll be good. And let's get this brisket going. Dry this off with some paper towel, soak up any like surface moisture. Okay, what I wanna do is start rendering the fat from the fat cap of the brisket first. I'm gonna give it a head start with some beef tallow. All right, I know that this piece of brisket is a little large. Actually, it's not that bad. All right, so I'm just gonna let the fat start to render on that underside. And then once we have a good layer of fat, I'll crank the heat up, flip the brisket, sear it, and then add the other ingredients. All right, brisket is going. We're gonna go ahead and wash up our little gem lettuces. We're gonna get the fennel taken care of. I've got some little French radishes to go with the butter and the baguette. So we'll get those all situated. Anyway, gonna line a little sheet tray with some paper towel so we've got a good drying spot. Hello. Oh, that's good. This can just set aside and dry. I think it's about time to flip that brisket. All right, other side of the brisket is searing right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and shave up this fennel. See how thin I want this? Yeah, I like that. I think I'm only gonna need just 1/2 of this fennel bulb. All right, back to the brisket. Turn my heat down. Got a really nice sear on both sides now. So I'm just gonna set this aside. Got my heat down low. Let's get this show on the road. What do you say? Deglaze with some wine. Just get all those brown bits up. I'm gonna do about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Give that a chance to kind of break up and cook down in there for a few minutes. All right, fabulous. Big spoon of Dijon mustard and some Worcestershire sauce. Then a whole bunch more wine. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat off, adding the whole bottle. And then this was a bit of a game time decision, but I decided to split the brisket into 4 pieces. It'll fit in there a little better and it will braise a little bit faster. Because I'm short on time, it's kind of what I need. Perfect. Our head of garlic, our herbs, carrots, and the potatoes. I'm gonna kind of do my best to wedge the veggies and such down in there. Do about half this bag of the pearl onions. All these veggies and the brisket are gonna continue to give off liquid as this cooks. So I'm not too concerned. Plenty of salt, fresh black pepper. I gotta fill up my thing. Okay. Lid on. This goes into a 300-degree oven for about 3.5 to 4 hours. Woo! Brisket's in the oven. So I got all this shaved fennel for the salad. I'm gonna pack this into a container because I'll be assembling the salad at Kenzie's house. Then I've got my little fennel fronds to garnish the salad with. It'll be so pretty. Greatness. Now I'm just gonna trim up and wash these little radishes. I wanna keep some of the green on there. I think it looks really cute. I think I'm just going to split these in half. Perfecto. Another little deli container for these. I think salad-wise, all that's next is to supreme the grapefruits and make the vinaigrette. I want to add grapefruit zest to the vinaigrette, so I'm going to shave some of that off. Best to do this before I start slicing into these. It's kind of ironic where I'm making like a really fall type of meal and it is 100 degrees outside, but hello, it's gotta be on theme. All right, there's the zest for the dressing. So here we go. I'm gonna take off the top and then I'm gonna use my knife to just cut off as much of the rind while leaving as much of the fruit as possible. Just wanna carve away all of that pith. Let's see, this knife is like not doing it for me. There we go. A sharp knife is really the best tool for this because you can just kind of shave off what you need to. You can just be a little citrus sculptor. How nice. I am Michelangelo. This grapefruit is my David. Then once we get our grapefruit segments cut, I'll take whatever fruit is left and squeeze the crap out of it, and we'll use that juice for the vinaigrette instead of, you know, like a lemon juice or something like that. It does not have to be perfect. And I think by the time I'm done fiddling with this, the onions will be cooked enough to go ahead and finish off the soup. Oops. Went a little hard on that piece. Oopsies. Let's give it a taste. I love grapefruit. This is the grapefruit technique. Alrighty. All right, now what we're gonna do is kind of cut in between these segments. So we have nice, beautiful supremes of grapefruit. Hi, like so. Do you guys remember the first season of Queer Eye, the reboot, when Anthony did that grapefruit avocado salad? That is what this is giving. All right, just about done. It almost looks like sushi. What you're really doing is taking the fruit out of this membrane is kind of what's happening. All right, got a piece right here. Okay, well, never mind. This one's working out much better. Okay, let's get a container for the grapefruit. All right, now let's work on the vinaigrette. So I'm gonna take these segments here and just give them a really good squeeze. See how much juice we get. Okay, good amount. I'd say that's like quarter cup or so. Got our grapefruit juice. Add about the same amount of olive oil. In goes our grapefruit zest that we did a second ago. A little Dijon. Got a fresh one. Salt and pepper. Lid on. Shake her up. There you go. Grapefruit vinaigrette. All right. We go ahead and place our lettuce back in that same clamshell container it came in. We can transport it in there. Okay. And that is all of our salad stuff ready to go. Perfect. That's like one thing done. So if all else fails, we'll have salad and chocolate mousse. Not the worst thing in the world. All right. Vinaigrette, done. Slice the grapefruit, done. Slice the fennel, done. Wash my lettuces, done. Start the brisket, that's done. Soften the butter, that's done. It's sitting over there. Still have not bought the baguettes yet, so I gotta figure that out. Start the onions, that's done. So I just gotta finish the soup. And then I do think that I'm gonna go ahead and thinly slice out some shallots before I go, because those are gonna go in the Dijon chicken. Oh my gosh. And it is just about 1 p.m. So pretty productive last hour and a half, I would say. So next I'm gonna slice up some shallots and then we'll get the soup going and that'll be that. Got 4 of these kind of small shallots here. Gonna do my best to take the skin off. See, this is all the kind of fiddly stuff that I would have liked to have done yesterday, but didn't quite have time. Lord Jesus. I think worst of all, I have no idea what I'm wearing to this thing. So there's that. Okay, there's those. All right, I'm gonna chop up about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cloves of garlic here. I'm gonna put 3 aside for the chicken dish, and then I'm gonna put 3 in the onions right now. All right, little onion check for y'all. We're looking great. These have been going in total, I would say 4 to 4.5 hours maybe. So we are gonna turn these caramelized onions into French onion soup. Got this over a low heat. First thing I wanna do is add a little red wine vinegar just to help scrape up all those brown bits on the bottom and kind of wake everything back up. Then healthy amount of Dijon, some Worcestershire, and some salt and pepper. And that garlic from earlier. All right, next, I'm gonna add some of this beef better than bouillon instead of like a bottled beef broth. I need about 2.5 tablespoons, and then we're gonna add 8 cups of water. Oh my gosh, did y'all hear that thunder? Please no rain on my dinner party day, that'd be great. All right, here's our first addition of the water. That's 4 cups, and there's 8. Oh my gosh, that thunder. Okay, I'm gonna let this come to a simmer. A little bit of fresh thyme. Okay, gonna let the simmer and reduce for a little bit. All right. I think I'm pretty much at the point where I can get ready to get out of here. So the French onion soup is cooling on the stove. The brisket is still sitting in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and pack up the other ingredients. So let's see. I've got this little kind of like cooler bag. I'm gonna do my dressing, my other kind of cut vegetables for the salad. These radishes. You can throw that creme fraiche in there. Gruyere cheese for the chicken dish. What the hell? I'll throw the mustard in there too. That's fine. Okay. Little ice pack in there. There's still room in here. I could fit something else. These herbs in case I have a use for them. That is so handy. Then I've got this larger cooler bag. So the grapefruit can go in there. Our lettuces down in here. What else? Maybe a few more things. You know what I should put in here? I'll put the chilled wine and stuff in here too whenever that's ready to go. I don't want it sitting in here just yet. Then I'm also gonna bring some dishes. Here we go. Got these beautiful Le Creuset mini cocottes for the French onion soup. So I'm gonna bring these. Whoa, caught the microphone. So I'm gonna layer a towel in there to keep everything from clunking around too bad. I've got this little Staub dish, might have a use for that. Then I have these really gorgeous silver chargers. These are from Pottery Barn. I'll link all this stuff if y'all want me to. But I thought the cheese plate would look really pretty on one of these. So I'll bring 2 of those just in case. I've got these little silver serving bowls just for whatever. There's my butter. And then I was sent this really gorgeous bistro plate from a bistro in Paris, and I thought the butter tower would look really, really cute on this with the radishes next to it. So I'm gonna wrap this up and take it. Look at that, it fits perfectly in one of my little reusable produce bags. I'll throw the butter right on top. Greatness. All right, let's check on this brisket. See how we're looking. Oh. Smells like absolute heaven. Push our potatoes and carrots down in there. Vegetables and the meat definitely still need quite a bit more time. Let me show you how we're looking. I mean, wow. Okay, back in till it's time to leave. Ooh. All right, with that, I think I am going to get myself ready, tidy up a little bit before I go, and I will see y'all over at Kenzie's house for the rest of this lovely little evening. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Let's check our list. So, finish the soup, that's done. Buy the baguettes. I did that. I placed a delivery order that's just gonna go straight to her house to make it nice and easy. Then when we get there, we'll do the chicken, keep the soup warm on the stove, keep the brisket going, assemble the salad, put together the cheese plate. Oh, the cheeses. Let me grab all those. And our chocolate mousse. How could I forget? Let's see. Let's do. That's great. Rest the mousse on top of those. That goes in. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Greatness. All right. See you there. Hi, everybody. Made it to Kenzie's house. Do you want to come in here and say hi?
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is so exciting for me. This is my favorite show on YouTube.
Mine too.
I'm obsessed.
All right. I'm gonna put up a little butter tower, and this can just kind of hang out and chill while I do everything else. Got some softened French butter. To bring y'all up to speed, I put the brisket in the oven, so that's going. I think for this, what I want to do is just kind of like mold it into the bottom of the plate and get a good base going, and then we will get the other one on top. And then I've got some baguettes that I had delivered here, which I'm so glad I did that because there was no way I was gonna stop on the way.
No.
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 And we'll get this out, and then I'm probably gonna start on the chicken next.
I can be doing the like sous chef stuff.
Okay.
I need to be doing that. I just need to wash my hands really fast.
Listen, it's a 2-woman show around here. It's
That-
rough.
Okay. She's looking stunning. That
So
feels like we're going to
fun.
Bar Sardine.
It's very
It's
that.
very Bar Sardine.
It's very
Except
that.
for we're never gonna get a reservation.
I was gonna say,
ever
I
again.
haven't been back since your event there.
It's next
when they
to
were
the
doing like
hospital.
the soft opening.
Uh-huh.
No. And I check like every week.
Yes, me too.
Okay, that
That's stunning.
is fun.
Loving that.
Look at that. That's fun.
Obsessed.
That's really fun.
How do you feel about Nicole Richie?
Nicole Richie?
Yeah.
I'm a Nicole Richie fan. I like her.
She is my everything.
I like her a lot.
And I think we could get even more involved in Nicole Richie. Like, I'm so obsessed with her.
Oh, okay.
Like, we would be singing, like, Song Sauce.
Are you about to pull her out of the closet right now?
You're like,
She's here.
I wish.
Nicole, come on out.
I wish. Like, stop.
And then we've also got some little radishes.
Oh my god. I mean, you are the most prepared. I need to get these things.
Oh, Amazon.
Need them.
I'll send you the
Desperately.
link.
I
like
have like 5 things I need links for.
wash them, reuse them. It's the best.
You know what you should do with these? You should keep all of them.
I know, and like journal with them or something.
Yeah, or like frame them. Go to Frame Bridge.
Yes.
And then eventually one day you have them like all in like an office or something.
Yeah.
All on a wall.
That'd be adorable.
And they can be in your museum one day.
But I love just how like stained and like gross they get.
It's perfect.
So yeah, I should take to the Frame Bridge. Your favorite place.
Wait,
Wait, I've never used one of these before. So do you just kind of like...
Yeah, they're great.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That is pretty great. I'm just gonna do some thin slices. And then we can kind of arrange them on the little...
On this?
Yeah, on that would be great. And then I'm also gonna take some and we're gonna toast them to go on top of the French onion soups.
Oh, perfect.
And then I've got Gruyere to like melt on top.
Oh my god, this is... Wow.
It's gonna be stunned.
We should like recreate a restaurant one day. You know what would do really well? If we recreated Texas Roadhouse from home or something.
Oh my
If we
god.
went all out, like we need to like hire Texas Roadhouse waiters.
One of my good friends, Kaylee, she might fly in for it. She was a waitress at Texas Roadhouse.
It's so good.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
Then, do you have like a little olive oil or something?
Yes, I do.
The Graza people, they sent me these potato chips that they have out now.
Oh, I've seen those. Are
Oh
they
my
good?
god, they're so good. They're like slow fried in olive oil
Wow.
or something. And then your salt and pepper, please. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay?
And I've had new ones allegedly coming every day.
Every day for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Those can just toast in there with the brisket. Let's see. Let's do like 8 minutes to start.
Perfect.
Loving it. Can I just doing like a little piece of baguette with butter?
Oh, would love.
Is there anything better?
No, this is incredible. This is literally the best day of my life. Did you see my TikTok earlier?
I did.
Guys-
I didn't get to comment on it yet.
For reference, I said like I've done a lot of cool things in my career, such as being on like Martha Stewart TV. I watched anthropology, but I was like, but today is like my biggest career moment. I was like, the Harrison Wallace is coming over and cooking for me. Like, actually, I won.
Hopefully it all lives up.
It would be like really like there's so much we can do,
There's so much.
especially with like themes. So like I can lean in so much. Wow, that's incredible.
Is anything better?
I mean, that is just
Is
everything I
there
need.
really anything better?
Okay, let me grab. Just needlepoint to get Uncrustable right now. Don't worry about it.
Have I shown y'all our tray of candy cigarettes? Like, I can't get over it.
It's so good. There's like 4. This just looks better.
Don't mind me just getting my apron on. Just suiting up. Alright, let's get this chicken started. So, I've got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. I'm just gonna lay these out so we can season them. And then I'm kind of doing like a more oven-friendly version of Ina Garten's chicken thighs with creamy mustard sauce. So we'll sear these on the stove and then remove them from the pan. Then we'll add in like some shallots, some garlic, make a little creamy mustard sauce with some creme fraiche, some Dijon mustard, cover the chicken with the sauce in the oven. It can just kind of stay that way until company's ready for it. Every time I cook with raw chicken on TikTok, I'm like, oh god,
Oh, yeah, it's so scary.
here come the chicken police.
No, like they're actually out to get you.
I
It's like
know.
wee wee.
I know. It's rough. All right, these can just sit aside for a second. All right, preheating this over like a medium heat. Little olive oil. Come up to heat for a little bit. All right, there we go. I'm gonna do probably like 3 of these at a time. We'll do them in batches. So everyone's got enough room. Just want to get a decent crust on either side. We're not cooking the chicken all the way through at this stage.
It makes it so much easier.
All of our chicken thighs are done, just set off to the side. We're gonna do a little deglaze. Kenzie and I are imbibing a little early, but we usually have an open bottle, so I can deglaze the pan. So really there's a reason. Big splash of wine. We're gonna scrape the bottom. Makes dishes easier too, frankly. All right, I got the heat over low. So what we're gonna do is build the sauce, then nestle the chicken back in, throw it in the oven, and then it can just kind of hang out until company's here. That's what's great about chicken thighs is they're actually really hard to overcook. These are the shallots and the garlic that we prepped earlier today. Whole thing right in. Coco loves the shallot.
Oh, she loves a shallot.
A little more salt and pepper. All right, so let these go for a minute or two. Shallots and garlic are kind of softening, so I'm adding, oh my God. This is 1 8-ounce container of creme fraiche, whole thing right in. If your creme fraiche can be room temp, that really helps. Makes it not as likely to kind of seize up and split on you. So I'm also gonna do 2 just kind of big tablespoonfuls of Dijon. I think every recipe in this lineup has Dijon mustard. Just get this incorporated. A little more salt and pepper. Then we're just gonna nestle those chicken thighs right back in. Any juices that have collected. Heat off, lid on. Ooh, these are adorable.
Cute, right? Anthro.
In the oven at 350, right next to the brisket. And that can just kind of hang out. All right, Kenzie stepped away to go ahead and get ready. So I am gonna put together the cheese plate. That one looks so good. So to keep with the Paris, Texas theme, I've got 2 kind of nice French cheeses. This one is especially delicious. It's a Délice de Bourgogne. It is really, really fabulous. Then, for the Texas portion, pimento cheese, baby. Right into pretty silver bowl. I'm sorry, but that's freaking adorable. Some fresh grapes to go alongside. Then, let's have some crackers to go with the pimento cheese. I'll just set those out in a little dish. All right, well, I got the cheese plate all set. Like, oh my God, that's adorable. I got figs to go on this and left the figs at home, of course. All right, everyone's here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the salad together and then we can start.
Okay, amazing.
Like, it says down.
And our shaved
Which, like,
fennel.
Enjoy your car. I'm like, you don't want to do that.
And then our grapefruit.
I'm just keeping it recorded.
That was a good one. It was
I'm
like,
pretty sure we watched it all in like 1 or 2 days.
oh yeah,
Every episode.
easy.
Oh,
Back
we
to
had
back.
like remember they had like the cocktail book or whatever?
Oh, I got it for my mom for Christmas.
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah,
ate it
you
up.
had that.
Yeah, a glass of champagne and then just like a little,
bit of this.
yeah. And there's Saint Germain too if you want a Saint Germain spritz.
You have a piece of grapefruit on the top of your hand that I'm finding a little distracting.
Thank you very much. It looks like raw tuna.
It kind of does.
Ben, what'd you get up to today?
I've been at the lake all week painting.
Yeah,
But it's nice to get out. This is what I'm
Oh, that's good.
Alright, here's our chicken. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on broil so we can broil the tops just for a couple minutes. Keep an eye on it.
Amazing.
It'll have perfect bubbly
That
French
you
onion
have in
soup.
your list.
This last trip. And I remember we were driving there and Kirsten was like, I don't care what happens, we're not canceling it. And then we get to the day, he's like, whatever y'all want to do is fine. But like, I could tell anxiety was killing him. So and it's like, I normally by myself, but
Yeah.
So we have brisket bourguignon, like a Dijon chicken, French onion soup with sweet Texas onions, and then a Texas grapefruit salad.
Oh my god.
And then we've got butter, baguette, cheeses, help yourself, and then we have chocolate mousse for dessert.
You're kidding.
Wow.
I'm so excited. just like that, we are right back here to answer some more of your cooking entertaining questions in the next installment of Ask Harry. Here we go. All right, these questions are all from the paid subscriber group chat over on Substack. So, hi dolls. First question comes from Kaylee, and she's saying, we're having a Father's Day beach picnic, super fun, but we're doing it high-low style and would love Rex for that. High-low food combinations are probably my favorite thing. I love to go get McDonald's and come home and make a really nice martini to go with it. And honestly, this episode was kind of about high-low food pairings. So here's kind of what I would suggest. I would maybe tailor this to your dad or the dads in your life that you're entertaining for at the beach party. And maybe pick some of their favorite things that are kind of on the low or the high spectrum. For example, if your dad, grandpa, brother, whoever loves KFC fried chicken, go get a few buckets of KFC and then make 2 or 3 bougier sides to go with it. A really good salad, maybe a really nice potato salad you can take to the beach with you. That also takes one big thing off of your plate, but my advice would be to tailor it to what they like. We did this for my sister for her graduation party a couple of years ago. My sister loves a hot dog, lives for a hot dog. And so we did hot dogs, which is super lowbrow, super casual. We just did hot dogs and I made a couple of nice side dishes to go with it, like a homemade mac and cheese, a homemade coleslaw, piece it together, but find that one star of the show sort of dish and do that first and then kind of build around it is probably where I would start. Because not only is a high-low party in itself kind of fun, but also that it's tailored to the person or the people that you're hosting for. I think that's even more cool. Great question. Hope the party is an absolute hit. Cannot wait to hear about it. Okay, next question comes from Rachel. She says, if you were invited to an Ina garden party, what would you hope that she would be serving? Oh my God. If I were to be going to Ina's house, one of her favorite things to serve is whiskey sours. So I feel like I would want the classic Ina experience. So I would love a whiskey sour. Then if it's a garden party, I think I'd want something that's maybe springy, summery. So maybe a salmon niçoise could be really good. But we're going to be in the Hamptons, so maybe a clam bake could be kind of, appropriate. But to keep it real with you guys, Ina could serve me slop on a paper plate and I would eat it. And I would talk for the rest of my life about how it was the best meal I'd ever had. Seriously, I would. She could do anything. Anything. She could give me birdseed. Birdseed on a little plate and I will eat it and rave. And it'd be the best meal of my life. Okay, Al is asking for my favorite sheet pans and bakeware. I'm in need of a new set. Okay. I think when it comes to sheet pans, Nordic ware is really impossible to go wrong with. Nordic ware, USA pan, if you want to spend a little bit more money, Made In, who I love, that's probably my number one favorite cookware brand. They make some sheet trays that are really fabulous. And I would also recommend buying some half sheet trays and some quarter sheet trays. The small kind of quarter sheet trays are so useful. I reach for those all the time. And then as far as bakeware goes, I love all of my Staub ceramic pieces. Even though I just shattered one of them, I banged it on the side of the sink on accident. So that was on me. Staub ceramic bakeware is really wonderful. The price point is a little bit less than what you pay for a piece of Le Creuset ceramic bakeware. Pretty widely available. Amazon carries them. Sometimes you can score one at Home Goods. So I will link all those different things down below if you want to go ahead and browse some of my particular picks, but that's the direction that I would go. Great question. Okay, our last question is from Molly, and this is an exciting one. She says, I'm recently engaged. Congratulations, girl. And starting to build out our wedding registry. Any suggestions on what to ask for outside of a Le Creuset or a knife set? I love to cook and I love to host. If you love to kind of host parties, this is when I was starting to kind of amass my collection of kitchen things that I found myself asking for was serving pieces. So I would go online to Pottery Barn, to Crate and Barrel, Williams Sonoma, any of those, and just pick out a set of different serving pieces that you might like to add to your registry. It's a good way to get some nicer things if, aunt and uncle's paying for it. But if you love to host, just having those dishes in your repertoire is going to be really essential. So I would ask for a couple big platters, a couple large salad bowls or serving bowls, and then things like wine glasses, champagne glasses, highball glasses, rocks glasses. All those different pieces of barware would be a great thing to put on your registry. champagne buckets, ice buckets, table linens. Like you could put on there different runners that you could, change out seasonally, or there's like a million different directions you could go. But I found, like, when I was first starting to like host parties and do things like what you saw in today's video, that serving pieces is kind of where my collection needed to be built. I felt like I had amassed a pretty decent kitchen collection all through like college and like early adulthood, but those kind of nicer serving pieces were definitely missing from my collection. So that would be a great place to start. Cookware wise, other than like a Le Creuset or a good knife set, a really high quality cutting board would be an excellent way to go. I'll link like my favorites down below for you too. And then of course, things like a blender, a food processor. The blender I reach for all the time. If you want cookware recommendations, I do recommend Made in Cookware. All of my stainless cookware is from Made in. I absolutely love it and cannot recommend it enough. And then depending on what you like to cook or what you like to do entertaining wise, if you don't have one already, a good grill, if you want a flat top griddle like a Blackstone or something similar. I also have the Solo Stove pizza oven, and that is like amazing. But if you like to make a lot of pizzas, I'd be really jealous of you if someone got you one of those nice Breville espresso machines for your wedding. That would be cool if you're a coffee drinker. Actually, we're going to go into my dining room really quick, and I'm going to kind of give you some examples of what I'm talking about. But things like napkins, napkin rings, nice silverware. This is cutlery from Sabre. It is so chic. I think asking for a set of that would be a great wedding gift. Again, different kinds of glassware. I love these little stemmed water glasses. Those are great. These cute kind of scalloped ones. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. A set of chargers. I love these silver ones. Block print napkins, that'd be a great thing to ask for. Then when it comes to serving pieces, I would say just go online, kind of pick a pattern that you like, and put a couple different sizes on your registry. So these are kind of like some medium-sized ones. I love that one. These are all from Pottery Barn, but any of those would be perfect. Then this I'm totally in love with. It's a silver beverage tub. So you can stack up like wine bottles and ice and drinks in that for all your parties, and it just looks so chic, so put together. Things like candlesticks, this table runner, anything you would need to host a beautiful party with your friends. That's what I would go for. And then you're all set for your functions. All right, and that is all the questions we have for today. If you have a cooking or entertaining, hosting, whatever question that you might want to see answered in another video, go ahead and drop that down below and I can pick a few of those too. And folks, that is all the time we have today. So thanks for tagging along. Thanks for coming to my little party with me. And I will see you folks in a couple weeks here over on the YouTube. And I got to think of what I want to do next. I think I'm leaning towards just some like easy summer recipes. I was really inspired by a question that we got last episode about warm weather friendly entertaining. So I think that might be the direction I want to go. I've got some kind of fun ideas I want to share. Okay, that is all the time we have for today. I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. Hope this gave you some decent like dinner party inspo for your next function. And I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Bye. Come on, let's go.